Hello. Hello from a wet and windy England today. It's very autumnal and windy and soggy, hence why my hair's wet, because I've been out to walk the dog. So in this video I just wanted to show you what I've been working on this week. I've been working on some A3 paintings, and these are studies and also potentially could be, you know, could be final pieces, could be final paintings, if I so wished. And that's what I quite like about them, that they're free and easy. They could be one thing or they could be another. And I think that sometimes that's what I struggle with a little bit when I come to do like a piece, you know, a piece of art, a finished piece. That feels like quite a lot of pressure. And then I end up being tight and kind of, you know, I don't paint as well. I'm not like free enough to paint as well. So that's why I quite like doing these kind of, you know, free and easy sort of studies. So, you know, I could make them into a painting or not. And I think that's why my sketchbooks are so free and easy, is because there's no pressure. There's no, like, I'm not trying to make anything good. So I think this is the kind of middle ground that I found with these works on paper that I've been doing this week. So I'm going to share those with you, and then I'm going to show you the next step of how I would begin this process again. So I'll begin my process and show you some of that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. I've had quite a few subscribers, like over 20, which is amazing. I feel really pleased about that. To be in my first week of YouTube and to have more than 20 subscribers is awesome, and I'm really grateful for every single one of you. And yeah, I plan to keep making these videos, and at the moment I'm trying to commit to one a week, although this is my third one in this week, but you know, we're beginning, so momentum is high. But yeah, I hope to make, you know, at least one a week, if not more. If I possibly can, I will make more, because I'm constantly creating, I'm constantly making art. So I'm hoping that it will feel a kind of easy and natural thing to do as time goes on. Thank you, guys. Okay, here goes. I hope I've got the lighting a little bit better today. I'm not sure that I really have, but it's a dismal day here, so even though I have a window here, outside light is quite minimal today, or it's certainly grey. So I just wanted to show you what I've been working on this week and kind of the process that I've been going through. As I said, I've been working on these A3 paintings in the kind of, I want to find a place between work that is not serious work in a sketchbook that I can just be very free with, and also finished work. So I'm trying to kind of work my way towards that, the final kind of, not final goal, but a kind of point where I feel so free that I can do just paintings and just throw paint on, you know, canvases and boards and things like that are much bigger, with some freedom. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm kind of taking myself out of my sketchbook, although of course I'm still working in sketchbooks, because I'm always working in sketchbooks, you know, every week. So this is not the only things that I've done this week. I've certainly been playing in sketchbooks as well. And there's a few studies here, so I will talk you through them. They all begin with a layer of collage underneath. I think there's one that doesn't have collage underneath. It might be the next one, which creates this lovely texture. So the collage is not just for what's on it. The collage is also because I really love the way some certain papers buckle and wrinkle, and I really love these kind of natural textures. I've done some scratching in here over the top of the paint, and this is several layers of there's gesso and paint as well. And I think what I'd like to do moving forward is kind of build those layers even more. So collage, gesso, collage, gesso, so really build up that layer of the kind of depth of the painting. So that's this one, and then this one's the only one I think without collage. And this, I wanted to get a really smooth finish, and I really love the spray here where I've put ink down and then sprayed it, and it's made this spray pattern here. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. I don't know if you can. I don't know. Hopefully you can. I really love that. And yeah, the lighting's not brilliant, but it will do. There's a shadow here where my phone is, because I haven't got a very good overhead light. And also I wanted to really emphasize the expanse of the sky in this particular one, so the land is quite small, although I feel like we get a really good impression of kind of potential, you know, distance here as well, with how it fades into the distance. And actually I'm doing a course at the moment called Find Your Joy with Louise Fletcher, and the theme this week is tone. So we're talking about how the darks kind of move forward in a painting and the lighter tones move back, and how you can create a sense of distance using those tones. And that is kind of what I'm trying to look at in these pictures a little. And actually, even if you look at this last one, you know, I've got the dark green, the mid green and the light green as we go back, trying to create that sense of depth as we move into the distance. Okay. And then this one, which I really love. There's a lot going on here, but I do really love it. My daughter looked at it and said she could get a sense of like fields, different shapes of fields, which definitely is something that I was kind of going for. And I'm constantly looking on Pinterest and looking at other artists' work for inspiration for my paintings, and I saw an artist who had done this landscape, and this landscape had this kind of blue, kind of almost lagoon sort of effect in kind of like on that, just underneath that horizon line, which I really loved. These are sprayed ink shapes, which I've been bringing into my work for a while, and I really love the kind of freedom of them. So I'm not controlling them, I'm just throwing some ink down and then spraying them, and they're kind of doing their own thing with the tree line at the back. And you can see through here some collage that's coming through. Let me see any other collage coming through. This wrinkled bit here is some lovely collage as it comes through. And the sky here feels a bit smoother, so there's not quite as many wrinkles in the sky. But I really love this one. This is one of my favourites. This one, which I think I put think there was just a little reel of, not a reel, story. I put a little video on my stories on Instagram as I made this one, although I think I added some bits to it afterwards. And again, I'm going for this kind of stormy look. I love bringing the kind of non-natural colours in with the natural colours as well, and this wonderful scratchiness in the sky, although I have almost kind of destroyed this brush completely because I haven't been washing it, which I have another couple of the same ones and I really need to wash them because this is not working as it used to. This end's not quite so bad, but yeah, I need to get better at washing my brushes. So that's this one. And then this is another quite similar one. I really love these marks that I've made through, and these marks across as well. Yeah, this is also really lovely and energetic, and actually it's really interesting to look at these. So I've been making these over the course of a few days, probably since the weekend actually. I laid down the first layer of collage. So what's that, like 4 days, 4 or 5 days? And yeah, again, the kind of unnatural colours with the orange light going through there. But it almost reminds me of like lightning. This is somehow got this kind of natural kind of force to it. So yes, that one. And then this one, which is a little bit different. And I came across this amazing painting, and I often write underneath my work as well. So often it's all completely covered by paint and collage, but I very often write underneath the layers of the paint, kind of first or second layer, and that's what I've done here. So the whole page is written on, but you can just see it peeking through here. And I saw a painting on Pinterest that had done this, where there was kind of a strip of writing at the bottom and then this like abstract landscape on top, which I really loved. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. I love the direction of how the kind of the land and the sky are separated. But I think I could definitely go further with this. I think it's a little bit controlled. I'm not sure. I don't love how these are kind of separate, these lines here, although they're done with a palette knife. So, you know, that's going to be a thing. And here, and I think what this is where this bit of paper's been folded and then I've stuck it on. And I don't mind that actually, this kind of crisscross sort of feeling in the bottom of the painting. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. I love the colours here, although I don't know, maybe it's a bit much, but I love how the colours peek through, and that's why I want to get into more layers, I think, so I can really get that depth of there being colour on top of colour on top of, do you know what I mean? Like there's a real depth that goes back in the work. This one, again, you can see really see the writing underneath this, and this is quite, so there's not much paint on top of here at all. Here I can see that I've used a dress pattern for collage, so you can see these kind of lines under here, and the same here as well. In fact, this might just have been one big bit of dressmaking, and then I think I added a further bit of collage here underneath, and this is a jelly print of a leaf from my garden. I think it's the tomato plants that I grew. So yeah, again, I think there's more I could do here, definitely. But the thing that I try to balance is, so if I was to cover this up again and cover this up again, then I would lose the bits of it that I really love. And because this is not, you know, necessarily a finished painting, I want this as a reminder of what I love. Which is what's so brilliant about studies, is they're not supposed to be finished works. They could, you know, this could be a finished painting if I wanted it to be, but I'm stopping here. I'm not going to add more because I feel like there's bits of it that I really like, and I want to be reminded of the bits that I really like, so then when I go on to do future work, I can aim to create create more of what I really love. Not exactly the same, but I can kind of use techniques that I've used here, so the collage with the writing and then the paint on top and the ink. So this is ink that's been sprayed. A lot of this paint is mixed with gloss medium, so glazing medium, and that's what gives it this really lovely shine, which I love. I love shiny paintings. I never thought I'd say that. I like texture, but also shine. I want rough and the shine together, ideally. So here's a really nice example of the shine. Again, this, there's parts of it I love, there's parts of it I don't love. I really love these circles here. I love the texture that's gone in here. Sorry if you can hear the sound in the background. My washing machine is, my tumble dryer is on its way out, and that squeaking noise is what you can hear. Hang on, let me shut the door. So yes, there's parts of this I really love. I don't love that this is washed in that direction. Like this mark was a mistake, I think, but it's okay. I don't mind. Mistakes are okay. Mistakes have to be made so that, you know, you can't learn from other people's mistakes. That's what I always say to my children. So you have to kind of do things and then think, kind of wish I hadn't done that. But there's parts of this I really love. And again, I could do more on this. I could go further. I could cover all of this up and do the ink all over again. But there's parts of it I really like. And so I want to be reminded of those parts I like. I've done some lines, scraped some lines in down here, which I like. And I love how this pulls and that it kind of looks a bit like blood. I know that sounds weird, but that it kind of looks a little bit kind of, yeah, I like that though. And there's some words, I can see some words underneath here with the collage. So yeah, so that concludes my work for this week. And what I tend to do is do layers of, so I do one layer on all the paintings, and then I come back and do a second layer on all the paintings and a third. So I'm kind of maybe coming in once or twice a day. I have quite a busy life, so it works quite well for me like that. And so what I'm going to do now is show you the first and the second layers of some more paintings that I'm going to do. Okay, so here I am using Canson Graduate paper. So these first couple of papers are this Canson Graduate A3 290 GSM, £140 paper, and then the other paper that I'm using, which is the same paper as the paintings that I showed you earlier on. I've just finished this one, and this is Canson Graduate Bristol, and this is 180 GSM, so this is slightly thinner. So that was the other paper I was using. So I'm just going to talk you through my collage papers. I've got some writing, some tissue paper, so I've painted on this tissue paper. Pages from books, more tissue paper that I've painted on that I've made myself. So this is paper book pages that I've printed on from palettes that I've used. So that's those ones. This is a bag. This is some old paintings, more prints that I've done. Again, old paintings, dress patterns. This wrinkles beautifully, so it looks lovely underneath. So I love using that. More paintings that I've used, and these are a bit thicker. So they'll probably need a little bit more glue to hold them down, but they really give a nice weight and a nice kind of depth to the painting, just in a different way to obviously the thin tissue paper. This is like a print test that my printer spat out. I wrote a list on the back of it. This receipts, more printing that I've done, and I think this was done. There you go. So this is a print that I've done from my silicone palettes that I use. So these silicone mats that I use, and then I'll print all of this onto, I could make a video about that. I'll print all of this onto paper, but this paper I've used is a bag from the pharmacy. So this is like I've picked up a prescription at some point and it's been in this bag. This paper bag, and it's just made this wonderful bit of collage paper. This is an envelope that I've painted onto, and again, more writing. This particular writing I found in a really old book that I picked up at some like secondhand shop, and I've just photocopied it, so I don't have to use the original because I just love the writing on it. And so they are my collage papers, and now I'm going to stick them on, and it's going to be completely random, and I shall speed it up for this bit. Thank you so much for watching. Just so you know, the glue that I've been using to stick all my collage pieces down is just PVA. So yeah, that's what I like to use. It's nice and cheap, especially when you're doing these kind of smaller study pieces. You know, I don't personally at the moment, at my current point in my art life, want to be using super expensive mediums to stick stuff down, so I'm just using PVA. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything that I've said or any of the materials that I've used, and let me know which of the first paintings that I showed were your favourite, because what I'd really love is some feedback about my paintings and my art, and I'm really open to, you know, kind of honest feedback about what you think was working and what you think wasn't working. I'd love to know. These are just studies. I'm not hugely precious about them. I'm just experimenting, which I absolutely love to do. But obviously, you know, with a goal to move forward into some, you know, larger, more finished pieces, you know, hopefully soon. So thank you so much for watching. Lots of love. Goodbye.